Winder deals with the Luma. Outside of that, for Homika, the biggest thing here is the offstage pressure and a juggle game. Because Sora can kind of struggle with both recovering, not because of recovery is bad. We've seen his recovery yesterday aplenty, right? The double Sora team. It just takes a while. And you know what Rosa's good at? Jumping off stage, having 0 fall speed, hanging in there, and just timing it down there to counter your recovery.
Now we are going to see what this Sora can do in his first game against Homika's Rosalina.
There's Fundaga not actually getting rid of Luma. Now the juggle is on, and I gotta give credit where credit is due. Both of these characters amazing at juggling the other.
Yeah, and they're both floaty as well, so I want to see who can kind of capitalize off that more. And you see Winder doing a really good start to the game.
Winder getting comboed though, but nice air dodge out. The Firaga into the side B.
Yeah.
Luma kind of making it a little bit harder. Luma not getting rid of here. Instead, opts to chase Rosa, and the chase.
This is what I was talking about.
Off.
This is exactly what I was talking about. You talked
Like
about stopping Rosalina at the ledge, but I'm telling you, Sora stops Rosalina before she even thinks about recovering. He can go so far off stage and make sure Rosalina's in the world of hurt. Maybe in a different galaxy, who knows?
The Luma jab though, this offstage pressure is decent, but it's not really lethal. Stacking damage, has to get back to neutral here. Winder, looking solid.
Yeah, Firaga into the up air, the part as well.
I like that.
Up air.
Gets rid of the Fundaga, gets punished a little bit, but a worthwhile trade. This Blizzaga here can do a lot of damage, and there it is. Blizzaga into up air. That's a solid like 20-30, and you gotta keep in mind, right? Both of these characters, again, you wanna talk about weight? These are both extremely light characters, so we're already nearing death percentages for Rosa. We can see it right here. And the chase again, Fabs, you've been talking about this. It's such a big factor so far.
I really think that he's kind of the reason why he's going, have to go Sora and gets that confirmed right there. Out of nowhere, Ramses, able to find these kind of linking hits. And like I said before, it's a Disney dream for Sora, man. Real good start for Winder.
3 stocks to 1. 145 on a Sora. You don't see it often. The recovery gets mixed, but the punish is imminent. I like that. Homika still on top of his game, still sharp in terms of capitalizing on his strengths, right? That recovery, definitely something you gotta abuse when you're Rosalina. Fundaga, gonna get punished. I like that. The counter, though, gets rid of the Luma here? Not quite.
Interrupts Homika on that platform. Can't be sitting too pretty and comfortable on that either way. And you see Homika just can't find comfortability on the lower ground, right? Has to opt for those platforms, and you see Winder's there waiting, loving arms to make sure that she's taking a lot of damage.
Reverse nairs, looks for a cheeky setup. Dash attack, I like that. We talked about this yesterday, right? Sora being the type of character who has to do a little bit of everything. Yeah. And we're seeing that from Winder. It's a little bit of walling, a little bit of interception, a little bit of bait and punish, and it all comes together in a beautiful way so far. Homika already nearing death, but this could be a big opportunity here. Is he going to capitalize? Still got the ledge trap.
Opts for the Luma shot. I think that's a bit too committal, and you've just given Luma to Winder, but doesn't take advantage of it, doesn't get rid of her either way, and still, there's confirmed rounds. It's too easy for Winder. It's too easy.
He's smooth with it. It's like butter. It's like butter. And one thing that stands out to me is that Winder never chases Luma. Not a big fan of the decision, but it's working out here because of how hard he's punishing Rosalina in these moments. And you gotta keep in mind, right? Not a lot of people have that Sora experience yet because of how, well, first of all, how hard of a character he is to play, and second of all, how uncommon of a character he is. And so, an up arrow like that Homika pulled out there would work against most characters. You don't want to do it against Sora because of that out of shield game. We talked about it yesterday. He has a very unique out of shield dynamic where he has that up B very similar to like a Squirtle or a Shulk or a Cloud. A little bit more range, a little bit on the slower side. Good reward, but can also turn committal options into just death with that nair out of shield. And that's exactly what we saw right there. Winder, great capitalization there. I think he got that nair 1-2 up smash twice in that game, and that's huge. I think it's just easy on tall characters too. Rosalina being extremely tall.
I was wondering if it was going to be as effective, these combos, these kill confirms on floaty characters, but I think you just answered my question. I was wondering, is that because she's such a tall woman, she's going to be susceptible to dying or getting hit by that confirm?
And that's what we saw from Kameme when he played, I think, against Zomba.
Right.
And what we saw was that Rob is just so easy to come with that Nair 1-2 up smash. And I think Rosalina kind of falls under the same category, a little bit floaty, a little bit big. We're heading into game 2. Homika sticking to Rosalina. I know he has a backup Sonic, but not today. The Rosalina comes out to play, or as they say in France, the Harmonie.
Well, we're going to see what this Rosalina can do on PS2 either way, France regardless. And the spells have been working so well at kind of keeping Luma away. Not exactly getting rid of her, but just keeping her from, nullifying what she can do effectively.
Yep, it's a lot of damage that Luma's taking, and even when you absorb the projectiles, some will come through, and that will damage Luma. So this non-committal way of just throwing out spells seems very hard for Rosalina to get past. The up air juggle, but not leading too much. Winder playing it a lot slower this game.
Yeah, he's just kind of chasing Homika in there, and Homika's doing a good job of playing defensively. If you want to do something, you have to commit to it. You're going to take damage on the way towards me.
Oh, I like the sandwich in between Luma and herself. The forward tilt, we talked about that. Really great tool to get rid of Luma. Now Homika playing it slow while he waits for Luma to come back. But Winder making great use of that opportunity. Gets reversal though. Now into the juggle. Nice patience by Rosa, but not quite getting it. And that's the out of shield game. Again, the up B coming through. Nice punish right there by Winder. Down in percentages, but still, these contesting the control of the game very well. Down smash, 2-frame attempt is made, but not quite. Not quite.
Okay, and you see Winder doing a good job of kind of keeping that Luma away yet again, but just can't find that really meaty hit. They're getting a couple straight hits, the counter right there, but nothing strong.
Yep. Nothing decisive. Luma now is still getting bullied, still alive, but barely. There she goes. Now it's Sola Rosa. You're going to see Homika go for these interceptions, but overall is going to try to play it a little bit slower, right? Look at that, retreating there, just dashing back and forth, waiting for that respawn so that he has that extra KO power. Now Luma's back, has the defender, already gone. Already getting rid of Luma. Winder, really changing up the game plan here, but the whiff punish from Homika, and now I know why he's sticking to that Rosa. He's got a new plan, and the new plan's working out well.
Yeah, I feel like the defensive side is working out very well for Homika. I feel like that's what we're used to seeing with Homika's Rosalina, you know what I mean? The best defense is a great offense as well, right? And I feel like that's proving to be really strong right now. In the first game, I feel like Homika was being a bit too aggressive, and you were just coming into Sora's, confirmed all the time and dying at early percent. Now, even though you're losing Luma more than the first game, you're still being defensive overall.
Okay, and Winder not going to win a Luma there. A little bit of a misplay, but it's all right. Still pestering the little star. Using that magic so well to keep Luma at bay. And again, we're kind of in that state where the magic is controlling the game. The roll in to punish the jab. An interesting opening, not one I expected to see there.
Yeah, for sure. Let's rip that key and this unlocks the door, different type of door straight away. And now Rosalina's defense being opened up as well. Winder back into this game, I feel, Ramses.
He's never been out in terms of momentum. He's kept up. It's just the reward on Homika's hits. He just seems to be a little bit more solid in these straight hits, a little bit more solid at capitalizing on them so far. Look at the corner pressure here as well. Reads the roll this time. Not going to let himself get reversal like that again. Luma dies again. We're going to see some defensive play on Winder. I like how he's capitalizing on that moment of opportunity here. The Blizzaga again coming in big. I think that's been his most important spell so far.
I was going to say, the way that he's working these spells in, he understands that obviously Rosalina can gravity pull, but he's punishing the option after. He opts for the Thundaga, gets it reversed by the gravity pull, and then punishes accordingly with the Blizzaga. That occurrence has happened so many times now. Real good usage of these spells. Exactly there again, yep.
Rinse and repeat, and that is the name of the game. Winder coming back into his own on his second stock. Already in a percentage lead, well, not for long. However, if we compare what's going on now to the beginning of this game, it's a whole different world.
And you see, chasing with the up air, just sharking underneath. Homika, again, doesn't feel comfortable on these platforms, has to opt for the ground. If you're on the same ground as Sora, you're getting pressured down. Of course, Winder is being more and more aggressive as the game goes on, but that Black Luma just sitting there, waiting. You can't sit near me pretty.
He sneaked that in.
Yeah.
Sneaked that in, desynced the Luma, waited for Luma to reach the right position, and got that up smash. Huge, especially, again, we talked about it. Both these characters are very light, so fighting that early kill is such a big deal. And one thing that we saw last game was that Winder just survived and survived. And this time, the difference maker is Homika finding these kills at the right moments. Luma shot, big pressure there. Winder looking lost for the first time so far.
Yeah, I do feel like what you said about Homika's new game plan is being very, very effective at the moment, Ramses. Very effective. Yeah, opting for the up tilt. Of course, the multi-hits. Couldn't find it right there. Of course, Homika still has this ledge pressure. They've been kept up this whole game.
And if we're talking about Winder changing the pace of the game in the second stock, this is Homika just re-establishing himself as the winner of this game so far. He has to make, he has to finish it still, but it's looking rough for Winder.
Yeah, for sure. Has to work out something right now. Gets both hits of the down smash. The Luma hit as well. You're off stage. Against it. That was, doesn't say concise from Homika as well.
Yeah, concise is the right word. Just straight to the point, setting up that trap, reading the jump too. And I like that from Homika because he was gathering information during his ledge traps, went for some lower reward ones like the jab, like just down tilt pressure, transitioning into corner pressure, stuff like that, and he did cash out on the information eventually, and I like that because that is the difference between a solid Rosalina and a top level Rosalina. It's like, it's very easy with Rosa to just stay in advantage state for a long time because of the coverage Luma provides, right? But it's hard to make that advantage state count, and that is where a lot of Rosas kind of go awry, is that they get the opponent until 140 and then they die at 60 because they're so darn light. Homika, like you said, very concise, straight to the point, said, hey, I need to finish this now. Gets that hit.
It's the game plan difference.
It's the game plan
of being super defensive. Like, you're forcing options that Winder kind of, didn't really want to execute, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's more of a case of like, I can do that, but it's like, I don't feel comfortable. And I feel like, even though it's a good pick, it's still a secondary at the end of the day, Ramses. It's not super polished, you know what I mean? And if you're exposing these habits that Winder doesn't really want to get into, Homika is definitely feeling way more comfortable. And you're limiting what Winder can do with Sora, because you're making him approach all the time, which is not what they want to do you know what I mean?
We're getting into the final game of this set. We're still running best of threes. We got Winder versus Homika. What are you expecting out of Winder in this final game?
I think he wants to make sure that Homika can't feel too comfy floating around these platforms, happily, you know what I mean? That second game, Homika was just great, frolicking all around the stage, you know what I mean? Not a care in the world. Winder has to bring the game towards Homika. You have to make sure that Homika can't feel too safe. Make him unsafe on the platforms again, just like game one.
That's a great point. The advantage state is a huge part of who wins this game. As we saw the previous games, the dash attack only hits the Luma, no whiff punish. Homika just waiting out the magic and then using the openings to establish some offense. The counters from Winder, I gotta say, we saw them be a lot more successful in game one.
For sure.
He has to bring those back.
Just feels like a lot of things since Homika's adapted this new game plan, this new playstyle. Winder's kind of like defaulted to something else, you know what I mean? Not doing what he usually was, and it seems to be working in Homika's favor. Gets that big up smash, no kill though, but a lot of pressure on Homika's side. Again, more striking on these platforms. Again, this is what I was talking about with game one. Making sure Homika does not feel happy, and Luma's out of there, all the way out of there.
He did it. Now Winder changing his game plan, no longer over chasing Rosa, instead just getting rid of the Luma when he can. I like that, using the forward tilt and the dash attack, as we mentioned before this set. Now Homika has a new problem to keep in mind. The back throw is such a great Luma killer, very reminiscent of the Mario back throw. That's always been a huge threat in this matchup. And there's the back throw on Rosa, just like that, getting the stock, only 50 on Winder.
I love that option as well. Rolls away, rolls into the ledge, of course, just to get that back throw straight away. Real good game plan from Winder, and now real good commanding lead. Avoids the Luma F smash on the ledge. Has to avoid how he lands though. Of course, being a floaty character, they do have a lot of time to work with.
Down air to go low, gets punished. The chase from Homika, and what started as only 50% ended in straight death. Homika making a huge comeback here. I like the combos on the platform though. Luma getting a bit of a trade, but still, look at the damage racking here. Winder looking for a big finish there.
Yeah, Winder was getting a bit too scrappy, happy with that one. Of course, get a bit too in your head, but understand, you want to get damage as much as you can. 80% on a light character like Rosa is pretty good, I'd say.
And Luma's gone, right? So just respawning now, has to get back to neutral. Winder now back to the plan of getting rid of Luma, gets punished here, but it's just an up smash, not that big of a deal.
Of course.
I like the way that Winder is bullying Luma this game, right? Respawns, just repositions around the Luma.
You're fine,
Wait,
you're fine.
What are we doing? Okay.
Gets back to the ledge. Of course, you are Sora. That recovery does go further than your dreams, you know what I mean? But either way, has to make sure that he keeps his pressure on Homika. Gets the one Firaga, and he's able to get these ladders into that big key swing. And Winder, one stock left for the newly sponsored boy.
Winder is looking like he adapted right back. These side Bs, great zone breaking as well, really introducing some new options, and I like that a lot. Homika, he's trying to adapt, and I know he can, but can he adapt on time? We've seen him take this stock, like the second stock, when he respawns, just immediately making quick work of Winder. He can do it again.
They've been adapting to each other really well, but just the way that I feel like Winder's playing this game 3, super commanding, gets the spot dodge grab, okay, back throw of course, and Luma is out of there. Thundark are going to keep harassing Homika off stage. Where do we go though? With no Luma, there's not really a good offense. Has to opt for the defense only. And even though it worked in game 2, doesn't seem to be working to fruition until now.
Not a KO though.
Smash, but yeah, like you said, no KO.
Luma shot goes over again. The chase is established. The grab comes out. Advantage state gets reset. And we talked about this, right? It's easy to stay in advantage state, but making it count is hard. And that's an unfortunate SD from Winder.
Okay.
This could be the start of something unfortunate here on Winder's end. Gets the advantage state though. Let's see if he can pull through. Gets rid of the Fundaga. The dash attack hits the ledge, of course.
Can't stay on ledge for too long, can't be too comfortable. It's all about making sure that you don't stay in one place for too long. Once the up smash call out, doesn't get it though. And again, Homika is just romancing these platforms, making sure the floor is lava at the moment. And you see Winder doing everything in his power to make sure he gets at least one aerial just to confirm it's a up smash, but gets the upbeat instead. And Winder is going to take that one. And the sponsor curse is not going to be happening to Winder.
Winder, with adaptation upon adaptation, had to fight his heart out, bringing out this new character. But wait.
Oh, it's game 5. My bad.
We're best of 5.
That's the 5. Win a 7.
Oh.
Maybe we spoke too soon.
We spoke too soon. I'm going to blame that on production. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hire me again next year.
But you see Winder taking a big circle around the stage, you know, making sure he doesn't get in his own head, doesn't take it for granted. It's not over yet. The battle's not over yet. Do you know what I mean? The war is still raging on. Has to make sure that he can kind of secure this win. This would be a really good win from over Homika.
It would. It would be an amazing win here for Winder. A 2-1 lead, and I want to add a very dominating game 3.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The way that he executed the game plan in game 1 and game 3 to adapt to what Homika was doing in game 2, sublime.
I love that. Love that. Absolutely great play from Winder, but Homika is a veteran. Right, he's been around the block. He's been in this situation plenty of times. I know it's cliche. I know it's cliche, but I think Homika is one of the most veteran players that we have right here. And so I believe there is a lot of room for Homika to adapt here. We've seen him do it in game 2. We've seen him come out swinging even in game 3.
Just gonna see how this game 4 happens on. I couldn't believe, I didn't know it was best of 5 to make out.
Yeah,
so.
It's fine. It's fine. We're getting more games, and this is, like we said, it's a great matchup because these two players are close in achievements, in skill level. Like you said, Homika, more of a stable factor, right? Like an eternal, consistent threat in France, whereas Winder, more of a rising star. And we're going to see who's going to win out today. Is it going to be the veteran, the established player, or is it going to be the come-up kid?
I'm actually really impressed with Winder's Sora. I really thought that it was going to be like a try out the Sora game 1, probably lose, and then just like, rely on the dock to like make it you know, evenish. But no, the Sora has been amazing. Really impressed.
Yeah, it's been putting in a lot of work. Is that they're they're figuring something out. We're trying to get you into game number 4.
I think it's music picks, I don't know.
Okay, there's Homika. He's just chilling. But they're rocking that orange. Royal Dutch. Winder still on the Sora. I love the screen. You guys see a fraction of the screen in the background, but they got the player cams. There you go. Love that. Thank you, production. Player cams. They got live updates on the character picks as well. I love the renders here. I love the graphics. The production value just so great.
It just seems like it goes up a level every year.
Every year. Every year. I cannot wait for the pyrotechnics for top 8.
Honestly,
it's gonna go hard.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
And people were angry that like they banned like the spray deodorants. It's because you can burn the whole place. Ooh, wait.
So the Sonic,
I told you about
the Sonic might be coming out. Yeah, I can understand why.
So here's my controversial opinion. I think Sora might be a little bit rough for Sonic at times. Mostly because of Firaga. Firaga kind of functions like a Pikachu T-Jolt, which is very hard for Sonic to deal with when charging the spin. Because he really... And the thing is, a normal T-Jolt has a little bit of counterplay in that you can kind of like use the invincibility of spin to get through the single T-Jolt. And that doesn't always come up, but it is a factor. Firaga, you can just repeat, right? So you can get 2 of them, and you can use them for your approach. I think that's very, very potent. We are locking in the Sora for game number 4. Homika bringing out his own secondary. We're in an all-out character counter-pick war.
I understand that, honestly. And the thing is, that Doc is not doing anything against Sonic. I'm going to be real with you.
Yeah.
That matchup sucks. But obviously, you know, you never know what can happen in game 5. Either way, we're going to have to see what happens in game 4 with this Sonic against the Sora.
Counter already, Winder with some counterplay. I wasn't ready for it. A counter on the spin dash. I like that. Takes Sonic out of the animation too, so might even go through the invincibility there. So far, a nice amount of damage wrecked already in Homika's favor. Goes for the early side B stop. I like the mix-ups. I like the cancel too. That counter coming out again. These shields are really putting Winder in uncomfortable spots.
Yeah, I can already see of how this game's going to go. You're making Winder second-guess himself. If you're canceling your charge or your spin dash either way all the time, you're going to be making sure that Winder, you know, stays in shield a lot of the time, and that means he can't get his moves out straight away.
On the other side, Sora does have great burst range. That counter, that side B, both ways to intercept these charges. Winder instead using that time to cycle back to Firaga, and I see Homika really waiting out the Firaga and then going in when the spells are in his favor. So if anything, this really comes down to resource management, in my opinion.
Honestly, that's a really good point to make. You got to make sure which spell you have and how can you use it effectively. Parries the F smash, but you're not going to get it on the tipper. No type of punish, of course. But okay, you see Homika just kind of, you know, faking out what he's going to do. Spin dash to down. I've seen that a lot of the times, and just rolling away or air dodging away to make sure he's not in any type of danger. But the Sora doing some work. The Thundaga going to put him high in the air once he F smash, but just can't find that final hit.
That F smash is so safe, right? It's so unexpectedly safe even. It looks like it should be laggy. It is not. Homika, though, using an F smash of his own, now trying to harass Sora off stage, but instead, it's Winder who will harass Homika, transfers that into a tech chase too, doesn't get the KO because of Town City, so the counter pick for Homika working out great already.
Okay, those are the Thunder as well. Make sure the Blizzaga fill out these spells sometimes. He fakes them out just for show. He doesn't even want the Thundaga to hit. It's just because he wants the next spell to make sure that he gets Homika stopped in his tracks, and with a big lead, Winder looking confident this game 4.
It is so much resource management. Are you playing around Thundaga? Are you playing around Firaga? Are you playing around Blizzaga? And we looked at that in the previous 3 games. That Blizzaga has such great reward for Sora specifically, and right now it's Homika having to get the KO. He's not finding it. This is where Sonic's weakest, right? When he's on the back foot, when he's down in percentage, he has to play more aggressively, and an aggressive play can be a lot harder against a character like Sora. And this is what I wanted to mention. Like, the Firaga is fine if you're playing defensive, but if you have to break through it, how do you?
Right. Can't take your time all the time, even if you are Sonic, of course. And I've always said before, Sonic is that the character. One of the reasons why he's one of the best in game, in my opinion, because he dictates when you can and can't approach. You know, he decides, okay, now we will interact with each other. But of course, if you're on the back foot, should I say, like you said, you can't decide that anymore. You don't make the rules.
Gotta play around Sora, and right now Sora establishing a lot of pressure to single hit Thundaga, almost leading to something beautiful. Not quite though, but that Blizzaga again, it's really been the star of the show this set.
Yeah, for sure.
Thundaga, Blizzaga wasted using Firaga to get off ledge here. The jump into the Firaga, into the side, not the side B, but threatens the mix-up regardless, and there's the punish. That punish was big because of the rage. That was a KO, right? So 160 on Sora. Again, Winder just doing a great job surviving on this character so far.
Yeah, doing a really good job of just making sure this Sonic can't really be too effective at the moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But even against the Rosalina, right? Just never dying early. And when he did, that was the one game that Homika won. So it really comes down to that lethality here. And right now, the most lethal player on the field is Winder, especially with those Blizzagas. Goes for another one, gets another up air. It just keeps paying off the forward smash, and Winder with a pop-off to advance thirder into Winner's side. Look at that man. What a well-deserved victory. What a performance on his secondary. BDE's finest on stage.
He was a different beast that set.
Dude, yeah.
Like a different beast, bro. I've never seen Winder play like that level at all times with a secondary. On Homika? Ramses on Homika, of all people.
Mr. Consistency. And he just tore him apart without mercy.
With Sora, bro.
Amazing performance. And we talked, like, as soon as Winder said on Twitter, I'm picking up a Sora, I just replied to it. I said, I'm a fan.
Right.
That's the pick. And so he still has that dock for these characters that are more pressure heavy. Think of Sheik, right? Like,
Fox.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're playing these more mid-range heavy matchups, Sora's a great pick. Sora's a great pick.
And we're starting to see more and more people tap into the Sora now. You know what I mean? Late game Ultimate is a different type of meta. You got people labbing out combos you never would have thought of, and then people experimenting with the characters that all your favorite top players told you to never play. Sora is that character, bro.
He was seen as not worth it early on, right? And here we are, he's paying off in dividends. Guys, you want to know what pays off as well? I got something beautiful here, guys. Look at this